This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
You're plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society.
Faith is the place, and the sky's the limit.
Now, your host, he is the
one and only
Troy Adams.
We're closing October out hot, but nowhere near as abruptly as the event we're talking about today. It's a Halloween-themed Wrestling Wednesday from the Podcast Wrestling Society. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the real Disco Inferno, Troy Adams. And throwing on his face paint and duster today to appear through the smoke and give me my win back a decade later, brother. He is the Hugh Morris to my Brian Knobs in this first family. He is Greg. What up, Greg?
Oh my God, you just said a mouthful of crap.
How dare you diss the first family?
Good grief, how dare you mention them?
It involves Hugh Morris, therefore it is good.
Said no one ever.
Whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hugh Morris's fan.
Hey, this is no laughing matter, okay?
Holy crap. That was perfect.
Damn straight.
Not even a setup, by the way, either. That was totally ad-libbed.
Well,
I'm
getting, I'm trying to become the new master of the segues here. But,
well, if you're going to do that, you have to say Roll Tide.
No, you can eat ass on that one. I'm leaving that in unedited.
Can we say ass on the podcast?
We can say ass, pal.
Cool.
You just can't say other swears.
Oh man.
Well, today, Greg, we are going to be talking about Halloween Havoc 1998, which was a show.
I believe we have to call it Snickers Halloween Havoc. Wasn't it Snickers or?
Was it Snickers or Slim Jim?
I think it was Snickers at this point. I think.
Yeah. Well, how about that? That was something. I did have a couple of wrestling updates to talk about, but I know you had brought up something of a virtual giveaway to our loyal listeners, so I'm going to let you have the floor for that one.
It's our Survivor Series 97 episode. But with this one, a little bonus, if you listen, I will send you a code for Seth Rollins and others in WWE Supercard. It's a mobile game. I've never used it. It's been sitting in my house for like 2 years because I don't play that game. Listen, cool. And it's yours. And we'll give a phrase later in the middle of the show. You get the phrase right?
Sounds
Boom.
good. Yeah. We'll do a phrase. I'm
not going to tell you when, by the way, but you have to listen to the show. It could be in the middle. It could be at the weigh-in.
Yeah, we'll let you all figure it out. I mean, if you listen, you should pick up on it because we're going to make it super obvious when we're going to give away, when we're going to give you the phrase. So just keep your ears out for it. But either way, all right. Well, that's our first giveaway. We're kind of testing the waters, easing you all into giveaways.
Yeah, the reason I want to do this too is because I can just send it to you via direct message on Twitter. So pretty simple.
Yep. Slip into the DMs on your fire-breathing Twitter machine, bro.
Once you use this code, it's going to be expired and gone forever.
Oh, gone forever, bro. Yeah, but thank God we're not quite into the Russo era yet in WCW. But we are talking about some...
the way this ends, it might as well be.
Yeah, this show was something. We'll get into all that here in a minute. Real quick, on the MMA side of things... Conor McGregor announces his UFC return for January 18th in Las Vegas.
Yeah, against the winner, ideally, of Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, which is... When does this air? This is going to air this Wednesday, so we're going to say it's this Saturday. No, next Saturday. No, this Saturday. November 2nd. Whatever.
Yeah, that. Cool.
It's going up against the Canelo fight, so it's probably not going to get a lot of views.
No. Well, how about that? Yeah, Canelo, one of the most popular fighters in the world for many sports. So, but yeah, ESPN's Ariel Helwani reported that the leading candidates were Justin Gaethje. Is that how you say it? Gaethje, or Donald Cowboy Cerrone, but that nothing has been signed yet.
Oh God! As much as I love Cowboy Cerrone, McGregor would kill him.
Yeah, faux show. This was all from Wrestling Observer, by the way. And as much as we bag
let me clarify, by the way. He would kill him now. Cerrone's really gone downhill. 5 years ago, Cerrone might murder him, so.
Yeah, it'd be a good fight. But things have changed. But while not formally announced by the company, it would be at UFC 246. But the Irishman then outlined his season, the January 18th return, a challenge to the winner of Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal for the BMF title, like you mentioned, and a challenge to the winner of UFC's lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, Tony Ferguson in Moscow. That fight has been signed as of now, or hasn't been signed as of now. So there's that. But cool.
They go to Moscow. He's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you imagine that freaking?
Khabib's pretty big in Moscow. I don't know if people know.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a bit. Some not so exciting news out of the MMA world. UFC legend Randy Couture suffers a heart attack. That was, as of the recording, that was today. So for those of you listening to last week,
he's out of ICU though, so that's a good thing.
Oh, okay, that's good because this story, then that must be an update because this story I'm looking at says he's in intensive care and
literally just saw it like 5 minutes before we started recording this. So,
well, that's good. Good to know. You always hate to see that kind of stuff for anybody. And Randy Couture is possibly the greatest of all time. Just not good, no matter who it is, but, still somebody that we saw fight for years and years, he, that's sad. Hopefully it's not, a condition. Hopefully they can figure out what happened and why.
I think he's very against drug use, so I don't think it was like, years of doing steroids or anything.
I hope
that's true. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything, but when you hear about like a combat fighter having a heart attack, obviously it's the first thing people think about nowadays. It's just the way it is. So,
right.
I'm choosing not to.
And he's 56.
There's that too.
I mean, he's older. That's not like super old, but technically it's getting up there in the senior citizens age. He doesn't look like it. That's for freaking sure. But when you work out that hard at that age, I mean, things happen. So you'd like to hope that, he's going to be okay. But, more updates later, hopefully. If we hear anything, any breaking news on it, I'll post it on Twitter, most likely, maybe Instagram. So keep an eye out there. Follow us at Pod Rest Society, for all the updates on that.
Hashtag get well, Randy. Let's get that trending.
Hell yeah. Here's a weird one. Did you hear that the Rock and Roll Express won the NWA tag titles again a while ago?
I did. I'm seeing them wrestle tomorrow night or last week or whenever the hell this airs.
Awesome.
Spoiler, we record ahead of time. But yeah, I'm seeing them wrestle at APW tomorrow night. Nice.
Well, the story of the Rock and Roll Express gets weirder and more epic as they are going to present the AEW tag team titles to the very first champions in Charleston, West Virginia.
SoCal Uncensored.
Man, that'd be sweet. They're building them up. I haven't seen Dynamite yet. Well, as of the recording of this, I will have, or the airing of this, I should say, I will have seen Dynamite.
I haven't seen it either. I'm just guessing they're going to win. I don't even know what happened. So
that'd be cool. I mean, they're super over, but they're still the forever openers of AEW. Is that just like the joke
Well, Chris Jericho has the mentality you got to start hot with the best thing. So,
yeah, not a bad way to start. I mean, you got the Fallen Angel, Kaz, and that guy from the Couldn't Hell No skits. You knew where I was going with it.
It's just funny how Scorpio Sky is the forgotten one, and he's so damn good. But you're not wrong.
Well, because they were bringing that up on Brian Alvarez and Vinny, his co-hosts there, were bringing it up. They were like, this is the most mainstream exposure he's ever gotten, clearly. Because they were like, he did some ROH, some Wrestling Society X. They were like, other than that, he was, in those Kane and Daniel Bryan skits in the therapy with them.
As of right now, it's just him and Kaz, I believe, right? Isn't Daniel legit hurt?
Yeah. Did you see he legit got dropped on his head? I mean, I don't think that's what injured him. They said he was fine.
We were just talking about 50-year-old guys, getting hurt. So he's pretty close, right?
Yeah, I think he's late 40s.
He looks amazing, I gotta say.
He's a freak. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that like good for him. Like, he's a physical freak. Like, him and Charles Robinson, man, like, what the hell are they taking? 1-a-day men's vitamins? Like, damn.
Might even throw Billy Gunn in there, too.
Yeah, he looks pretty good for his age. I mean, but the thing is, he looks good for his age. The other two haven't aged. Like, one injury update. I haven't heard anything about La Parka since the last time we recorded. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Well, that could be a good thing, too.
Yeah, no news sometimes is good news. But Evil has suffered a left ankle injury and won't be wrestling on the rest of the Road to Power Struggle tour.
I believe that affects the show me and my buddy are going to.
Yeah, that sucks. So. Yeah, his stablemate Bushi from Los Ingobernables de Japan will replace him in the match that he was scheduled for. So he's out. Bushi is in. I mean, best you can do. Bushi isn't bad. He's just, he's not evil, but, he's fine. I saved this story for last, just, this update, just because you know more about him than I do. I knew absolutely nothing about him until, I saw the update, and then you messaged me, literally 2 minutes later. And then I found out some more about him. Jake Atlas has signed with WWE. He's expected to start in January because he's wrapping up his dates. So,
yeah, dude, this guy is freaking amazing, man.
He apparently got their attention at PWG's Battle of Los Angeles this year.
Yes.
He's only 24 years old. He recently worked for Ring of Honor, Impact, MLW, and he's a very openly gay wrestler. And according to you, like you said, he's really good.
He may be the best wrestler in APW right now. Yeah. So.
Well, that's saying something. They got some good talent.
Yeah. God, I'm blanking on the guy's name. They signed his breakout match. Was a couple months ago. I think I want to say. I don't know. Man, I forget. Old for editing. No. Shane Strickland, who's also now in NXT.
He's Vince Russo's new favorite wrestler.
What's his name again? NXT?
Swerve, bro.
Yeah, Swerve. Yeah, that's right. Those two had one of the greatest matches I've ever seen live in my life. It was freaking awesome.
Nice. I really haven't seen.
You can see Dean Ramon in the crowd, by the way, too, on the video on YouTube. Yeah, cool. Strickland is just, man, so damn good too. They got a really good pickup with these guys.
Yeah, and if you do look up that YouTube video and you see, if you want to know which one Greg is, he's the one that has the look, bro. I'm kidding.
I sit next to look, so I can not have a look.
Like Ramon. No, I'm kidding. He's gonna kill me. Anything else before we get into Halloween Havoc you wanted to cover?
Not really. Well, there's a big one, but we can't talk about it because you're not caught up. So
yeah,
we'll have to talk about it after you've seen it. It involved NXT. Let's see,
bro.
Let's say let's say
I
last
said that.
week. Let's say last week, right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll try to watch them tonight or tomorrow, one of the two. But either way. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, let you know about some other great podcasts here on the Big Heads Media Network. We are growing by leaps and bounds every single day, bringing in some sponsorships on the network and all that good stuff. We're trying to expand our horizons and all that. So go check it out. Good slate of stuff. Besides just the podcast, we have time to play promos for on the show. BigHeadsMedia.com. When we come back, it is WCW Halloween Havoc.
Hey, all you Missouri sports fans. This offseason on the For Old Missouri podcast, we've been focusing on flashback episodes like Doug Smith's Senior Day and the 2011 and 1985 World Series. But now, this fall, we'll be shifting to the current stuff and recapping every Mizzou football game, every Kansas City Chiefs game. Subscribe everywhere you find your podcasts. Search for Old Missouri or check us out at foroldmissouri.com.
Calling all sports fans, are you looking for an alternate source for sports news, scores, takes, and updates? Well, look no further on Franchise Tag Sports Podcast, hosted by me, Eric Salas. With the help of frequent guests, we'll give you all the latest and greatest on sports. That's right, I'm talking NFL, the occasional NBA and MLB, and yes, a lot more NFL. I've always loved watching the NFL, and there's no better way to talk sports than flipping on a microphone and giving my opinions on what goes on around the league. Tune in every week for brand new episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you stream your podcasts. You can also find us on Twitter at Franchise Tag Pod and on Instagram at Franchise Tag Sports. It's the Franchise Tag Sports Podcast. We got the sports, you just gotta press play.
All right, we are back, and it is time to jump into Halloween Havoc 1998 from World Championship Wrestling. This
WCW.
Why do we do that every time?
Because Scott Hall made it famous.
Good Lord. Freaking Scott Hall. This was co-branded, supposedly. It was WCW NWO. Halloween Havoc, but I don't see Slim Jims.
No, I'm pretty sure this was the Snickers one.
Yeah, probably. It seems so weird after 3 years in a row.
I don't know if they called it Snickers Halloween Havoc like they did Slim Jims. So
I don't think so. Yeah, I think they went hard for freaking Slim Jims, man. But this one,
because Slim Jim,
what?
It's got that new Macho Man figure. I'm still marking over it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you got that, and I hate you for it. But they were in the
double
MGM...
the price, by the way. But just whatever. Go on.
Oh, good Lord. They were at the MGM Grand Garden Arena again. I think, did they do that for every Halloween Havoc until the day they closed?
I don't remember 2000 being there.
Okay, I know.
I could be wrong on that. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't. I just don't remember where it was. 99 was,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I was. I'm looking at it now. They were. Yeah, that was the final Halloween Havoc, and they were in MGM.
They must have just had like a deal with them. Like, you have to have this every November or something.
Well, Bischoff talked about it on his podcast. He said that He said he liked the idea of that because there were a bunch of people in Vegas anyway, and it's a tourist destination and whatever, and he looked at this as a huge event for the company, so he just figured, have it there. It'll bring in more people.
Yeah, I feel like LA or something would be better suited for Halloween.
Yeah. Well,
everybody's already plastic and fake out there anyways, but so,
Yeah, you see how much he loves SoCal. Well, the event has that spin the wheel, make the deal thing tied to it. So there's that. Or do we not talk about that anymore?
Miner's glove.
Hell yes. How is that not Vince Russo?
But all the options on that damn wheel. I don't want to get into that again. I think we already covered that, by the way. I think it's somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the archives. Go check it out. We do have a Halloween Havoc watch-along episode where there were various matches from Halloween Havoc's past. Or if you just want to hear that one, it's up on the YouTube page.
Preferably, I suggest you go listen to the House of Horror, not House Horrors. I was at House of Horrors. What's that? The Chamber of Horrors.
Yeah, that one. Gosh. That
Yeah.
Whoo! Yeah.
That was the one where Dusty woke up with a cold sweat.
And Abdullah the Butcher got electrified.
Yeah, fried.
For real, bro. Gosh. Well, check these numbers out, Greg. 1997, Age in a Cage. They had 12,457 fans in attendance. 1998 1998 they had 10,666 63 fans, in attendance. So they went down by 2,000. In 1999, it went down again. Sorry, my stuff is loading slow on me. 99, they had 8,464 fans, so it went down another 2,000. And then their final event, 7,582 people. Suck.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost a 50% decline from, overall.
Yeah, within 3 years. Crap. But the tagline for this event was "The Night When Good Battles Evil." And for some reason, this was the event that Hulk Hogan decided, I'm going to face everybody from my past, no matter how old they are. 97, we had, 96, we had Macho Man. 97, Roddy Piper. 98, Ultimate Warrior. What? I think
he was not on the card in 99, I believe. 2000, he was gone. He was in 95. I want to say 95 was Vader. Well, that might have been or 94.
I can't.
No, 95 was the Giant.
Yeah. So but it would have been Andre if Andre was alive and healthy.
Yeah, you're damn right it would have been.
Yeah. So here you go. It's just it's freaking weird, man. He wasn't there or was he there for 94? I think so.
Yeah, that's the one you wrestled Vader, I believe. That's the only original thing.
Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc just sucked ass.
Sorry, that was not Vader. I think that was Flair. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Or
either way.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was. But either way, this event was something. The commentators were Tony Schiavone, Bobby Heenan, Mike Tenay, who Tenay didn't really say a whole lot. And let's just get into all the goodness here. It was a random-ass show. I'm getting most of my notes, by the way, from Sports Illustrated. It's under the article, "The Worst Wrestling Shows Ever, Halloween Havoc 1998. I don't know if it was one of the worst ever, but it was
there were definitely
great.
some enjoyable things on here. So, for me, the worst ever is pure crap. No reason to watch it ever again. Right.
Well, the first match was Chris Jericho defending the World Television Championship against Raven. It went just shy of 8 minutes total. This one was pretty good, but the ending of it was freaking weird.
Real quick, I'm confused. Weren't they both heels? Weren't they both heels at this?
Yeah, Jericho, I think, was morphing into a heel, I want to say, because he came out with the... I have this Jack's figure of this Chris Jericho, by the way.
Of course you do.
He's in his yellow Lionheart tights, but he has the top ponytail thing, like he's Cindy Lou Who. And he comes out, Raven comes out first and complains and says he was an afterthought. He wasn't scheduled, but then he showed up and they threw him in this match the last second with no preparation. And so he refuses to wrestle in this match. And Chris Jericho runs him down and says, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to wrestle either, but you're robbing the Jerichoholics here in Vegas of getting to see me wrestle." And I can't even remember what all he says about Raven, something, but Raven gets pissed off and comes rushing down the aisle, and they get into a big brawl. Involves stairs, chairs, and just a bunch of stuff. But it was a pretty good match overall. Bischoff said he didn't like Raven. I think mostly it was his attitude, but he just said he didn't get it. He didn't like him. I don't know, man. I that was one of them. We talked about somebody else on this card that I was looking at through rose-colored glasses. But I think Raven holds up, man. He was great.
I think he's a very acquired taste.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's like, me personally, he was a great wrestler. He was innovative. He was unique. He was weird for sure. But I can't understand looking at him, seeing his body of work and going, I just don't know what to do with this guy. I don't get it. But is that just me?
No, I liked him too.
I mean, I know
I was more of a WCW fan of his. I'll say that.
I thought the work he did in ECW was like over the top, but I thought it was really good. You're pulling that out of a show with a bunch of crap, but I thought Raven was really good. His WWE stuff was garbage, and then his TNA stuff I thought was pretty good for the most part. But
his WWE theme was badass.
It was. Wait, which one? The instrumental, his first one, or the second one?
The second one.
Yeah, the one they dub over his WCW one. I'm sorry. I liked him coming out to Come As You Are, especially like the more slowed down, rocked out version.
Well, they'll tell you that was not that. For legal purposes, that was not that.
Oh, yeah. Bischoff himself said, yeah, we went through the Turner Library and picked out songs and was like, this one fits you, go for it. So, yeah, this was Sports Illustrated said when he finally made his Raven, that is, when he made his auspicious return in 99. Yeah. When he made his return in 99, he immediately started teaming with the Insane Clown Posse. They called their faction the Deadpool.
Why the hell wouldn't he?
He seems like somebody that would team with the Insane Clown Posse. So, whatever. But either way, Raven got beat with a lion tamer. That was it. I think this was like when the Ravens flock broke up. It was just Canyon was it. And the thing is, like, Canyon played a part in the finish in a weird way. Like, Jericho got Canyon hopped up on the apron. Jericho got thrown into him. So he, got tripped up. Raven went for the even flow. And then Jericho reversed it into a lion tamer and tapped him. Like, what the hell? Like, even with interference and all this other stuff, he still can't beat Jericho. It was weird. What did you think of the TV title while we're talking about it?
I thought it had some of the better matches on the card consistently.
I thought it was great. I mean, I don't know. I always enjoyed the TV title just because you always knew you were going to get a championship match on the card, and it was, something. Bruce Pritchard, buried the hell out of it. He's like, what the hell does it mean? You whooped all the TVs in the world, whatever.
Well, you can't fault him when Disco Inferno held that thing 3 times.
Hey, Booker T held that thing quite a bit.
I think that was a launching pad for him, though, when you think about it. It's where it all started.
Hell yeah. I don't.
So it goes both ways.
That was Arn Anderson's championship for years. That was his. Rick was a world champ. He was a TV champ. Speaking of Disco Inferno, up next, Juventud Guerrera took on Disco Inferno. This was.
Can we just remember real quick what he did at the past Halloween Havoc? The previous one?
Juventud or Disco?
Disco. He wrestled Jacqueline. So
God dang it. Yeah.
A year later.
A year later, he's wrestling the greatest wrestler on planet Earth.
This was really sad.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer, for those of you who don't recall or who don't know, and why would you? This was just stupid. I can't remember if it was 98 or 99, but one of those
98.
Years, yeah. Dave Meltzer got so angry at WCW because he said they're burying Juventud, who is the greatest wrestler on planet Earth. No? I mean, he was good and all, but no? Like,
oh, man.
Were you a Hoovy fan?
I actually liked him when he had the mask on. I felt like once they took it off, like I don't know, just stopped being cool.
Well, he started ripping off The Rock after
I'll say
a
this,
while.
he was always talented. I won't ever deny that. So
yeah, I thought he was great. Sure as hell not greatest wrestler on earth. That was
that Rock thing though, that started when Russo came in, to be fair. So
yeah, when he was the juice and talking, didn't he do the if you smell what the juice is cooking or some crap like that?
Yeah, and then he said finally the juices come back too. He says some random ass city, and then he would like the fans would boo, and he would go, "It doesn't matter what city this is."
Yeah, everything has to be WWE light. Good Lord, now in the archives, go check out our Russo on Nitro crap. I'm not the show. Like our show was, I thought, freaking hilarious, and I'm still proud of those shows. But what Russo did was crap. But either way, this match was not good.
Bad.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. It was the winner would go on to. I skipped the match. I'll have to go back to it in a second. But the match went just shy of 10 minutes. The winner would go on to face Billy Kidman later in the night for the Cruiserweight title. So we're going to have to see one of these guys wrestle twice, and it's the Disco Inferno. He was the one that I was looking at through rose-colored glasses because I thought, he wasn't that good. Or I used to think, he was pretty decent. He was not that good at all. I just, he wasn't crap, but he wasn't good. Like
his theme song was badass.
Hell yeah, they would always show the hot chicks in the crowd dancing along with his theme and everything. I will say this: he looked like he freaking he was tanned to the T's. And he looked like he hit the gym every day. He had six-pack abs. He could have
headlined his Starrcade then with that tan.
Right? Tanned and six-pack abs. Damn straight, baby. The Disco effing Inferno. But he beat Juventud about 9.5 minutes. There's that. The match that I skipped, because how dare I skip this one? It went about 4.5 minutes. It was Wrath versus Meng.
Oh man, I remember that. That was just built up. That was just built up because both of them couldn't be stopped. They were just beating the hell out of each other every Nitro. Every time they tried to have a match, they beat the hell out of each other, and it spilled out to the side, and then referees broke it up. It never happened. So
good Lord. Well, it happened here, and Wrath beat him with the meltdown in 4.5 minutes. I will say it wasn't bad. I always liked Brian Clark.
I always thought Wrath was very underrated.
Yeah, the main character I didn't understand from start to finish, but I mean I always thought Haku was a great wrestler.
I think they just made it. I think they just made it like crazy, like wild animal or something like that.
Basically, but at first he was like an Asian / Islander. I'm like, okay, and he does karate. It was so weird. But either way, that was that. Wrath got the win. These two just beat the crap out of each other, so that was fun to see. Like I said, then we
probably a little legit too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they weren't pulling them punches.
You go back and watch that; it looks rough.
Hell yeah, both of them big dudes just beating the crap out of each other. Hell yeah. But yeah, we got Disco Inferno and Juventud Guerrero up next. This one, man, I was just like, why the F is this on the card? I know you can say that about a lot of things here, but this especially. We get Alex Wright versus Fit Finlay.
Oh, yeah.
Just why? On so many levels, why?
Why not?
Finlay looked weird. Alex
Tell me
Wright,
this is brown curly mullet Finley.
No, this was like he shaved the sides of his head, and the hair on top was kind of floppity, almost like a really short bowl cut, and it was like bleach blonde, and it was clean shaven. But it was just weird. I don't know. The match wasn't any. I don't remember it at all. Alex Wright beat him, and I fast forwarded through most of this match because it went 5 minutes, and it was blah. There was no build to it. It just happened. And I think Alex Wright was a heel at this point.
Or becoming
He's a heel. Came out of a dancing box. German box.
Wow.
Popped out of a box like German chocolate, mother effer. Anyway.
Anyone takes offense to that was not me.
F you. Up next, we get an almost 4-minute match. You want to talk about why the hell is this on this card? Perry Saturn versus Lodi.
Yes!
Just why?
The clock explodes.
Gosh, yeah. Lodi was announced from anywhere he chooses. Because apparently that made him badass. Just, okay. And he still came out with his stupid signs. Saturn beat his ass with what the hell was his finisher? I don't even remember. Not the Rings of Saturn. Well, no, the Death Valley Driver. That was it. Beat him with the Death Valley Driver, and then he did the Rings of Saturn sign, then he left. And I'm just like, what was the point of this? They just crammed so many people onto this card for no reason.
You gotta get Loki over, dude.
Well, keep in mind these last. Yeah, I was just like flabbergasted. Those last two matches combined were shorter than Disco Inferno and Juventud Guerrera that went 9.5 minutes. And then we get Billy Kidman defending the Cruiserweight title up next against the Disco Inferno in a match that went almost 11 minutes. So altogether on the show, we get over 20 minutes of the Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
It's just
clearly they were grooming him to be the next Hulk Hogan. I mean, he's got the tan. Oh.
Gosh. That match, it dragged on and on and on, and then Billy Kidman beat him with a shooting star splash. God dang it.
Putting everybody out of their misery.
Yeah. Thank God, I guess. It's just something. But all right, we are going to take a quick break. It is going to be our last break. When we come back, we're going to get to some meaty stuff from the card. The first stuff I'm going to go through with you guys is going to be super confusing, and it needs to be talked about. But anyway, we will be right back after we tell you about some other great podcasts here on the Big Heads Media Network. We'll be right back.
Brian, what do I love?
Fantasy football.
I do love fantasy football, but what else do I love?
Making money?
I love winning money, but no. That's not what I'm thinking of.
Ooh, I know. Sundays.
I love Sundays, and I'm not talking ice cream, ladies and gentlemen.
And if you love playing fantasy football, you need to check out the FTLS Fantasy Football Podcast with myself and Johnny Bats over here.
Find us on Apple Podcast or your preferred podcast app, and as always, check out all of our work at www.ftlsunday.com. Look forward to winning with you all year.
They don't do it.
That's
like
good.
That. Okay, cool.
So who says what?
So
We're a podcast. You say that?
So I'm saying 5. Beth.
4.
3.
2. 1. Hey there, I'm Dave.
I'm Beth.
And I'm Veronica.
And we are the Happy Hour. We're a podcast dedicated to the most decorated NHL franchise of all time, the Montreal Canadiens.
A casual listen by Habs fans for Habs fans.
We have new episodes every week, so have a listen.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we are back, and This is the confusing, well, not confusing, just dumb thing that I wanted to get into with you. Rick Steiner is going to take on Scott Steiner on this card. It is scheduled to happen. However, on Nitro, Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell, who were in the NWO Black and White together, and they were best friends. When the Steiners were in the ring together, I guess Buff swung at Scott and like kind of like with a chair, missed him, and they like kind of were like, oh, they're broken up, they're not friends anymore, or whatever. So when Rick Steiner is being interviewed on the stage by Mean Gene Okerlund, Buff Bagwell comes out and says he's tired of Scott Steiner and his arrogance and his attitude, and he wants to be in the corner of Rick Steiner tonight again because the NWO is together and everything. So he's going to help them fight him off.
Yeah, I'm sure we all didn't see where this was coming. Where we're going, so.
But hey, spoilers, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, how dare you, point out the obvious here. By the way, is there anything more 90s than frickin' Buff Bagwell coming out wearing a FUBU jersey?
Hell no.
That was just like, the hell. They said that Rick and Buff had to get clearance from James J. Dillon for this to happen. And it goes from being, oh, Buff is going to be in his corner to, so were the Giant and Scott Steiner tag champions together?
98.
Because they came out with the titles and...
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a Freebird rule thing or whatever, but they came out. It turned from, oh, Giant's going to be in Scott Steiner's corner and Buff Bagwell's going to be in Rick Steiner's corner. It turned from that to it's now a tag team titles match. And not only, if Rick wins, not only do him and Buff become the tag champions, but then he gets a match right after that with Scott Steiner. Okay.
Yeah? You sound confused.
First of all, why doesn't he already get the match with Scott Steiner when it was already on the card scheduled?
Same reason Goldberg didn't just get a shot at Hulk Hogan, maybe Scott Hall first. I don't know.
98 was weird with that crap. The other
also,
thing...
real quick, let's point out, brother, real quick, this is the second match on this card where you got to win a match to get another match.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's like, they had a huge roster of people, talented people, people who weren't being used, and they throw the Disco Inferno out there for over 20 minutes within, between two matches, and they throw Rick and Scott Steiner out there. I know spoilers for what's coming, but Rick and Scott Steiner are out there for like ever, and I'm just flabbergasted. This first one, the tag titles match went 8.5 minutes, and Rick and Scott only went 5 minutes, 10 seconds. So all in all, it's shy of 15 minutes for two matches, but just have one 15-minute match. But I guess they had to figure out, for some reason, how to get the titles off of Scott Steiner and the Giant. So Rick starts the match, tags in Buff Bagwell. Shocker, Buff turns on Rick. And
I did not see that coming.
Right? Yeah, he turns on him, knocks him out, and then he like jumps for joy, like, yay! And then he runs away, more like skipped away, I guess. Buff was a little weird, for those of you out there who don't know. But Rick Steiner ended up winning the damn match when Scott was holding Rick back. The Giant took 20 years to get on the top rope and throw a missile drop kick. Shocker. Rick moved. Giant plowed into frickin' Scott. And then
20 years.
He did. He kept slipping off the ropes and everything. Like, dude, just give up. But Rick, I can't remember. Rick did something to the Giant and beat him. Just, good Lord. And then the Giant took off because why not? Let's see. I'm trying to see where this all went. The end of the Scott and Rick match, I can't remember exactly how that one ended either, but after a whole bunch of crap and shenanigans and whatever else, Rick won the tag titles and then beat Scott one-on-one. They didn't really do much with Rick after this, did they?
I think they turned him heel the next year, right?
I don't remember, but I mean, like, this wasn't like a big push that went somewhere, was it?
What the hell are you talking about? He was on TV every day, every week.
Rick Steiner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's a push. We're just saying he was on TV.
There are a lot of people that were on TV on Nitro every week that didn't amount to crap. But my point is, they just turned Scott into Big Papa Pump, like, what, earlier this year, or like a few months before that?
Yeah, Fall Brawl 1998. Not Fall Brawl, sorry. Super Brawl.
Okay, so earlier
Which
in the
I was
year,
at when he turned on Rick, by the way.
Oh, well, screw you. But yeah, either way, they're like, why are you going to make Scott look like a doofus like this? And I know I complain about the NWO always managed to go over, but this was a little dumb. And where did this go, by the way, with Rick Steiner holding the tag title?
I think Rick Steiner and Kenny Chaos held them.
Who?
Chaos from that jobber team, Rage or High Voltage.
Good Lord. I don't know who the hell that is.
It was Robbie Rage and Kenny Chaos.
My gosh. Everything you just said, I hated.
Yeah.
I'm reminded
at
of...
one point, too, he gave the extra tag title, the championship, Hal. He gave it to Judy Bagwell, and she wore it like she was the champ. And yeah.
Wait, when Rick was the champ?
Yeah, I forget what happened, but at some point he gave it to Judy Bagwell, and she wore it to the ring and stuff. And and then somehow Kenny Chaos got it somehow. I forget the whole reason of how, but
man, just when I thought it wasn't going to get worse.
It can always get worse.
Oh, hell yeah. This was when, by the way, for reference, this was when, according to Eric Bischoff, he was starting to mentally check out. It's obvious.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But then this happened. We get a blow-up. It's the BFFs finally clashing. Kevin Nash versus Scott Hall.
All right. First of all, on paper, the build-up, it looked like it was going to be so good. Like, they built the hell out of this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, for starters, they were both in the Wolf Pack, and then Scott turned on Kevin, and for some reason, I don't know, and he joined the Black and White again. Do you know why?
I think he just... No, they never explained it. They just split them up.
I don't look as good in red, brother. I don't know. It was just...
Well, Nash said in the interview that Hogan wanted Hall because he wanted someone cool in the Black and Whites.
Yeah, because who the hell did he have? He
if
just kicked out Horace.
Throwing up all over yourself is cool.
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah. Well, he had to replace Horace, man. Come on.
That's true. That was a huge loss.
Damn straight. We'll get to him.
Well, they still had Vincent.
You're right. Meat sauce. But Scott
Hall, dude,
Hall,
they had Vincent. They had Stevie Ray and Brian Adams. And, and of course the Disciple. But he had just turned. More on that later. So this was a formidable NWO, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, this was the glory days of the Black and White. But it was Scott Hall,
man.
Kevin Nash. Scott Hall comes to the ring with a cup with liquor in it. Yeah, allegedly. Comes out walking and acting like he's drunk because for as much crap as I talked about WWE, like with the part, and like people were mad. He was going through alcohol problems, and then Austin poured legitimate beer all over him in that backstage segment. WCW literally did this. Like,
again, one more time, just for disclaimer, this is pre-Russo.
Yeah, it was. Bischoff says he regrets it, but I can't understand why he ever looked at this and thought, yeah, good idea. Like, what the hell? But Hall throws the liquor in Nash's face, I believe. They get into a scuffle to start the match. The start of this match, I will say, was pretty cool. The match went like almost 14 and a half minutes. The first 7-8 minutes of it was good, I thought, anyway. But then Nash got the upper hand, and he just beat on him and beat on him and beat on him and beat on him for like 10 minutes. And then he jackknifes him. He gives the signal for one more. Bobby Heenan piles on with make it a double. That was lovely. And then they're making bar references throughout this entire match, by the way. Oh, it's time for last call and crap like that. And then he hits a second jackknife, which was ugly as hell, by the way. He barely got his big ass up there. And then he leaves. Nash just exits the ring, and they say, well, he did what he came for. Like, winning was not important to him. What the F?
Oh, he said he just wanted his friend back. He didn't care about winning, so that went with that.
But he jackknifed him twice after beating the piss out of him for like 10 minutes.
Well, that part I can't explain.
It's just like, what the hell? He was trash talking him while beating on him in the corner. Go back if just watch that part. He's like elbowing him and kneeing him repeatedly in the corner, talking smack to him, crotch chops him, jackknifes him twice, and then leaves the ring like, well, we're all done here. No point in pinning his ass. Oh, gosh. So, long story short, Scott Hall wins via countout. Okay.
Yeah.
But up next, we get Bret Hart defending the United States title against Sting. This one went 15 minutes. This is where I didn't have enough time to catch up with this. What are your recollections of tomato-faced Sting with a goatee versus the Hitman?
I forgot about that ugly paint.
Here's what... Okay, for the record, when I was a kid, I thought it was sweet. As an adult, this is what Sports Illustrated had to say about it. They said, Sting had plenty of great matches, but here I just remember a lot of clotheslines to an incredible heelish Bret Hart who almost certainly didn't want to be in WCW anymore. So many clotheslines. If I remember correctly, this feud began because Bret Hart didn't like how the Scorpion Deathlock was similar to the Sharpshooter or something.
Yeah, he told him he stole his move, and he does not appreciate it. I watched you all those years steal my move, and blah, blah, blah.
Who Bret stole, in his own words, from a Japanese wrestler. So, that was something. I did see the first, 4 minutes of this match was just Sting going after Bret. Bret would dive out of the ring. And
I remember he beat the hell out of him.
Trash talk the crowd. Yeah. Sports Illustrated continues by saying, we're talking about two of the best of all time, so even if they're sleepwalking, it's at least instinctual sleepwalking. Bret Hart beats up Sting with his own bat. That's a novelty. But yeah, when we write up Sting's career arc, this match will probably go unlisted.
Yeah, I think it all started when Scorpion what's he called that again? The Stinger Splash. And then he hit his face on the post, right? And then, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched this match. But
it says that Brett won via knockout.
Yeah, because he put the sharpshooter on him and Sting passed out. But he had already got beat up with a bat, so.
Lovely. Well, now we've arrived at this match, which, by the way, is in the archives. We did a watch-along. It's on YouTube. It may or may not be on that Halloween Havoc watch-along. I can't remember. But it is Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Warrior. God dang.
I remember how they set this up, too. A rematch from 7 years ago in Canada. That's all they said.
Hi.
Or 8 years ago, whatever it was. 8 years ago in Canada.
Yeah. This sucked. All right. It sucked so bad.
It
was
did not?
Boring. It was blah.
Shut your mouth. This was an amazing match.
Sports Illustrated talks about how at WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior just had a ridiculously good wrestling match. I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but it was good. For the two of them having a match, it was the best. It was really good. The crowd was into it, just erupting. And then they say 8 years later, they had a rematch where Hulk Hogan tried to distract the Ultimate Warrior by lighting a match.
In his own face.
Yeah. The build-up to this was goofy, to say the least. At Fall Brawl, the Warrior basically held a magic show where he was in the cage, and then he wasn't in the cage, and there was smoke and just stupidity.
And he broke British Bulldog's back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because he had to have that damn trap door. Yep. And the British Bulldog took a bump on it by accident. And yeah, that was great. There was a lot of smoke and mirrors. And Hulk Hogan saw the Ultimate Warrior in a mirror that nobody else could see because, this is wrestling, people.
Yeah? Why do you say that sarcastically?
This doesn't get any better. It just doesn't. It was awful. And then Hulk Hogan, tried to do flash paper in his face, and didn't it go wrong?
Yeah, he ended up burning all his eyebrows off and something like that.
Hogan did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was trying to light it and pulled it up quickly or something, or I don't remember.
Sports Illustrated says he was supposed to light some flint or something, but it didn't work. So there was a weird improvised ending where Hogan's nephew, Horace, hit Warrior with a chair. This, by the way, was after the build-up footage showed Hulk Hogan kicking Horace out of the NWO, literally busting him open, putting staples in the back of his head with a chair. Or on top of his head or whatever.
That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing.
Right, yeah. And then Hogan just literally whipped the crap out of him like he owed him money with his weight belt.
That works for me, brother.
I guess so. And they said that's what people remember about this bout, the botched ending, and the most unsatisfying chair shot in history. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. They said, you know what I love about the first Hogan Warrior match? The innocence. The fact that Hogan kicks out at 3, the cover on the backdrop, the handshake afterwards. It was classic stuff. Years later, this rematch replaces all of that innocence with the weird bitterness of two men who simply don't like each other. There's just so much standing around and arguing and awkwardness and decades-long animosity. Warrior barely sells anything. Hogan tries to reference that test of strength thing in the most cynical way possible. I don't want to dig into the politics of whether or not Hogan demanded to pin Warrior or what all went down with Warrior's alleged creative input, but what I do know is that one of the most beloved wrestling moments of all time was dug up for a 14-minute dusty ending. I don't care who you are, that sucks. And this match went so long, and we had to have 21 minutes of Disco Inferno. Well, first of all, Hogan won that match with a bunch of shenanigans, if you guys haven't picked up on that yet. But the main event, what we were all here for, besides that terrible thing, I will say the crowd was kind of into it, that Hogan Warrior thing.
Yeah, well, they were all in Vegas and they're probably all drunk, so.
Right. What is it with Warrior in WCW where it's like, got to have more time? Whether it's that, rambling 20-minute promo where he just went on and on and on. Or
because they didn't have producers and they didn't give a damn, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, get the hell out of the ring, Warrior.
Well, get to the next part.
Because of that,
it ties in with that.
Happened. We get a fantastic match between Goldberg and DDP. Probably the best. I don't know. Would you say this was the best Goldberg match or just one of the best?
Oh, easily.
Yeah, DDP really made this guy look like $1 million. I
think it was even better than the Bret Hart matches.
Yeah, DDP was great. Can't say that enough. I've always been a big DDP mark. I've always loved Goldberg, too, for as much as people crap on him, but he does have a limited skill set. But damn, DDP made him look like just great. 10 and a half
We're
minutes.
talking Bret Hart and Tom McGee status here, man.
Oh, yeah. Now in the archives, by the way.
Hashtag Tom McGee's man ass.
Hell yeah. Man ass. Man ass McGee. Still pulling for that one. This match, the majority of it, wasn't seen on pay-per-view. Sports Illustrated said a lot of broadcasts ended with a Hogan Warrior passive-aggressive wank fest and didn't get to see Goldberg retain the title.
I will say this. I was watching it live. I was one of the ones that got cut off for, too.
What was your reaction to that?
I thought like maybe the cable went out or something, or, because we're watching it and they literally cut out right when they lock up.
Yeah. So I'm sure you were furious.
Yeah, I was. Hey, this would be a good time to put in the phrase for the code. How about WCW is stupid?
Should we go WCW is stupid or WCW apostrophe S stupid?
Whatever.
It's got to be accurate. We'll go with is stupid. WCW is stupid. DM us on social media.
Must get 10 responses or more.
Yes. It is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Look up at Pod
MySpace.
Society.
No
everything. MySpace. No. But our DMs are open
LinkedIn,
on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are on there. Just give us a shout out. Send us WCW is stupid, and we will enter you for the code.
But yeah, I remember watching this though, and we're like, what the hell happened? This is one of the first ones in a long time I'd watched live at a buddy's house, and we're like, oh, the cable went out or something. It'll be back on. Never came back on ever. We waited till probably 9 o'clock. No, sorry, wait. We waited till about 8 o'clock. We waited till about 8 o'clock because back in those days on pay-per-view, they showed the event again on a free replay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it started over. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, man.
Of course, we're all kids. We got to be in school the next day, so we didn't stay up till 11 to see if we get to see the match. So, and internet wasn't big back then. It wasn't huge, so I didn't know what happened. So
yeah, you had to watch Nitro.
They showed the whole match on Nitro the next night. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that amazing match got cut off. I mean, sure, it got a bigger audience on Nitro, but damn, man, at what cost?
And it's funny to think in 2 months and a couple days they'll be doing the finger poke of doom.
Oh my gosh, I know.
If you really think about it, it all started right here.
And that was the night that, Scott Hall went on hiatus. He came back at that event and had a craptastic match with Goldberg. So, good stuff. Not. But, yeah, this was really dumb. It
But I
aired the
can't say
next
it enough,
night.
though. The match was, God, freaking amazing.
Remind
As
me-
far as like Goldberg matches, I would say this is a 5-star match.
Hell yeah. And it went, I mean, the match went 10.5 minutes. When you can say that about a 10.5 minute Goldberg match, not only that it just didn't suck, but that it was great. There you go. The Sports Illustrated said, in a great match, a very dramatic diamond cutter that's Randy Orton RKO counter out of the tombstone level of, oh my God, is he going to do it? Is he? Which, nah, but it still is great. I bet if more TVs carried this match, maybe the Hogan Warrior disaster would be less remembered. But of course, the NWO storyline ran out the show while two of the other top guys worked for nobody. Doesn't work for him, brother.
Yeah.
This was just so awful.
Yeah, but 20 minutes of disco, man. You can't top that.
Well, hell yeah, I can't. Conrad was going through, he was like, when they covered this, he's like, couldn't cut Wrath and Meng. Couldn't cut, a little bit of disco time. Couldn't, couldn't cut down that Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner stuff.
Didn't Hogan do like a long-winded promo at the start of the show, too?
God, he had a couple segments like build it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he came out with an NWO Monday Night. Yeah, he was wearing an NWO Monday Nitro T-shirt, and Eric Bischoff holding the. It wasn't that long-winded. It was. I mean, it wasn't short, but it wasn't like for a Hogan promo. It was about timed right. But man, what is with these Halloween Havocs, man? They all end crappy. They all have a terrible Hogan match. From the past. And Bischoff loved this freaking event.
Well, yeah, because he got to go to Vegas on WCW's dime.
Yeah, just like he got to go to Sturgis on their dime multiple times. That one I'm still having nightmares about. You ever hear that he did another pay-per-view, not a wrestling one, obviously, but a pay-per-view that he produced with his company at Sturgis in like 2001 or something
I can believe that.
Yeah, and it was just like a long, like basically following people around Sturgis during the event, and like, what is with your obsession with Sturgis? He did admit
fancies
that
himself a biker.
Yeah, but like, damn, you can't recognize this sucks and nobody likes it? I guess Hogan likes it because he's a biker too, brother. He's a biker brother.
Oh, yeah. I remember he called up one of Brooks' boyfriends and threatened to have his Hells Angels friends break his legs. Remember?
Seriously?
There's like a leaked audio somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Is it like that leaked audio of Randy Orton dropping the N-bomb?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
No.
We're closing the show with that, by the way. Randy Orton, it was a big thing online for like 2 weeks or longer. I don't know. It was about 2-3 weeks. Here's where I call shenanigans. I don't think it's real because it was like during a Twitch video game streaming session. The guy sounds just like Randy Orton, and he called somebody the N-word. I mean, there was no R on the end of it. Okay, you couldn't hear the R.
Oh man, I heard the R, man.
He was. He said it with the A, and he didn't say it in like a with malice. But still, I'm like, okay, why would Randy Orton be streaming himself playing video games on Twitch? Like, give me a break.
Well, apparently it was on there praising AEW and Sammy Guevara. So
seriously, on Twitch?
Yeah,
playing video games.
Yeah, he praised Sammy Guevara. Said he wants to work with him. He said he's amazing.
Well, that's of all the talents on their roster, Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't not watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but just like that's the one. All right. Well, anyway, that was Halloween Havoc 1998. Unfortunately, thanks for making me watch it again, Greg.
Hey, that's not all on me.
Oh, it is most certainly on you. next week, going to be we're switching gears because this is obviously we're wrapping up the month of October. We officially get into Survivor. Yeah, trick or treat. We gave you tricks. This is the equivalent of somebody saying trick or treat, and you say, "Hold on a second," and you poop in their bag.
That's a trick.
Well, to some it might be a treat. I don't know, but anyway,
you don't want to say trick or treat in my neighborhood, man. You might get a trick named Candy.
Oh, good Lord! I don't even want to analyze that right now. But next month we're switching into Survivor Series mode, and we're going to cover the most famous Survivor Series, quite possibly of all time. I don't even know if it's up for debate. It's most likely, and it's not
2019, the one you and I will be at.
Yeah. It's quite possibly the most famous of all time just because of the ending. Survivor Series 1997 from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Obviously, we know what happened there. Naked Midian was on the card. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he was or not. But
oh, man! You got me all excited. Thanks for getting that mentioned in this week. I almost forgot.
No, right? Yeah, well, I got my Jax figure reference in there, so I've got to get yours in. Got to get your crap in, pal. But yeah, we're covering that next week. And then for Veterans Day, we're on, in honor of Veterans Day, not on Veterans Day, but on November 13th, we're coming at you with Clash of the Champions, Guts and Glory, and Great American Bash 89. So some classic WCW. And for once, not classic crap. November 20th, it's going to be one of my favorite Survivor Series of all time, 2002, we will review. That's the very first Elimination Chamber. And on the 27th, it's you and I doing our post-Chicago show, Survivor Series, and Takeover War Games. Going to be some good stuff, man. And also, we're doing a virtual giveaway this week. Next week, we will announce the winner if we get 10 entries. And next week, we will start our physical giveaway of a figure that we talked about. Somebody's getting a figure. We're not saying who or what, but it's coming. So listen in next week for our phrase for that. Thank you for joining me today, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to go cleanse your palate. We will come at you all next week. Later.
Later.